Pepper says, are you ready to have people over and actually enjoy it? I know I am.
Hello everyone and welcome back to A Hoarder's Heart. On this episode, we are going to be talking about the 5 things that I don't have to worry about when I have people over. This is part of my Come On In series. I am a recovering hoarder. I used to be a 4, now I'm in between a 1 too, and we've decluttered thousands of things in this house. But even though we started opening up the spaces and I didn't have as many messes, I was still afraid to have people over. That was such a deep-rooted story of I can't let people in my house because I don't want them to see what I'm hiding inside. That's why I started the Come On In series. This is focusing on kind of reprogramming and desensitizing that fear. I want to start to feel really good when people come into my home because I do want to be more hospitable. So I have to work through these little fear issues to get to that point. That's why it's really important for me to talk about the 5 things that we don't have to worry about while I'm cleaning and decluttering in this living room.
The first thing that I don't have to fear when I have guests over is perfectionism. I am no longer putting unnecessary pressure that my home has to be this Pinterest perfect condition 24/7. All over social media and even some of my friends' house, I would see these perfectly clean and curated homes filled with Pottery Barn furniture and different patterns and textures and decor, and I felt like I had to have that too so that I could have a welcoming home as well. Back then, I had desperately sought the approval of others so that I could feel worthy in that moment, and I wanted to be perfect so that I could be a good girl too. Because inside, I was struggling to accept myself as someone worthy because of my hoarding disorder. A lot of people in society kind of look down on hoarding disorder because they don't understand it. So I even put even more pressure on myself to try and be perfect in every single way, but I continuously failed. So I had to learn to love and accept myself first, because no human is perfect, which means no home will ever be perfect either. The second thing that I don't have to fear when people come over my house is having this amazing entertainment for the night. I have been to enough fancy smancy get-togethers to where they had these perfectly planned activities and games that even had these huge prizes for the winner. And it wasn't even a kids' party. We're talking about like a mommy group gathering. And I very much appreciated all the hard work that the hostess put into it, but that put so much more pressure on myself to also have an equal amount of perfect entertainment because I am creative. People know that, but I didn't have time to plan out such an elaborate game because I was spending too much time throwing all this stuff upstairs into the basement to hide my hoard. What game could we possibly play? Find my missing items in the hoarded basement? So I made the decision to, again, not put that kind of pressure on myself. When I have people over, it's for the time spent together, talking, laughing, and snacking, or even a meal in my home. If we want to have this big, huge entertainment, then we can save that for any outside experiences in other places. The number 3 thing I don't have to fear when people come over is hiding my hoard. This was a huge stress on me. The thought of having people over and exposing my hoard to the world, that would trigger a panic attack just thinking about it. I would immediately start churning the hoard, which meant that I would take everything in the living room and in the kitchen and shove it into the laundry room or the basement because I could close the door. Exposing my messes would imply that I was a failure, and at that time, I didn't accept that I had hoarding disorder yet. But my hoarding disorder never made me a horrible person because it's a mental disorder. It's okay if I struggle with it. And I know now that I'm trying to change it. I'm in the solution because I lovingly accepted that I have hoarding disorder and it's okay. I don't have to hide it. or feel exposed anymore. Number 4 on the list that I don't have to fear anymore when I have people over is having this great, almost restaurant-esque food to serve everyone. We're kind of going back to the theme of the Pinterest perfect dinner table this time. I'm an okay cook. I mean, I can improve, but cooking's not really my passion. So, of course, I would put this unnecessary pressure on myself that I needed to have the most decadent, wonderful dinner or appetizers prepared for my guest. I was so afraid that everyone was going to be so disappointed in the way the food tasted. And of course, that does not hold high to a good girl standard, right? Good girls know how to cook and prepare a beautiful spread. So I came to a place where I accepted that it's okay that I'm an okay cook. I mean, I'm not a bad one. Plus, when it's for dinner, I always ask everyone to bring side dishes. And if it's not a meal, well, I know I can have some snacks to offer that are already prepared. And most of the time, it is snacks. And people say, no thank you anyway. There's no need to put this pressure on myself anymore. And the 5th thing that I don't fear anymore when people are over my house is the judgment. And this one was my biggest fear. I was too afraid of the judgment. What would happen if people found out that I was a hoarder? I was afraid of shocking someone, letting them down, making them feel uncomfortable, or worse, having them look down on me. Back then, I was struggling to accept myself as someone who is worthy because I had hoarding disorder and because of my past traumas that I never processed. So to have somebody else judge me very harshly, I just couldn't bear to carry it. It was too much. It was too heavy on my heart. And it always felt like when I stopped over to go to someone else's house and they would explain, oh my goodness, my house is such a mess. And I would just look around and say, where is your mess at? It looks perfectly clean. I mean, I don't even know how you keep up with this every day. But it also made me think that, what if they saw my house? If they thought their one piece of mail on the table was a hoarded hot mess, well then, how are they going to react when they see an actual hoarded house? What judgment will be cast on me that I can't bear to process because I'm still working on the internal warfare of my own hoarding disorder? But I am happy to say that because I've been working on myself the past 5 years, taking each baby step in my recovery, that I'm not afraid of the judgment anymore because I've already admitted to the world that I'm a hoarder. Everyone can very easily see my messes, and since I shared my heart and my struggles with it, everybody else has accepted it too. I've received so much love and empathy and compassion from all of you and my family and my friends, and I don't have to hide it anymore because I don't fear it anymore. I'm in a space of love, and that's how we're decluttering and cleaning and continuing on. And honestly, even after explaining the 5 things that I used to fear, my friends and family weren't even expecting that anyway. They just wanted to spend that time with me. I was the one who is putting this unnecessary pressure on myself. And I feel like we all do that. We set ourselves to reach this standard that no one is expecting for us to do. They just want to spend family time together. I saw a sign that I loved saying, if you want to come see me, come right in. If you came to see my house, make an appointment. I just love that because it's okay. It's okay if you stop over and I have some small piles that need to be put away. I'm a work in progress, and so is everybody else. Giving yourself self-acceptance, self-love, and grace is the best gift that you can give yourself. And sure, sometimes the fear will peek its ugly head here and there, but I know how to self-soothe that with positive self-talk. And the more that I think like that, the more it becomes a daily thought pattern. And the more daily thought patterns I have, it becomes a behavior, and that behavior becomes a personality trait. And soon, I'll be able to open the front door and say, "I'm so happy to see you. Come on in, sit down, enjoy yourself." And as you can see, we are still celebrating my birthday. The tradition is to kind of keep the decor up, at least for a week for now. But the room looks a lot better. Are there some areas that I'd like to tweak and organize? Sure, but that's okay. We're taking those baby steps. I can comfortably have somebody in my home without feeling uncomfortable myself. And I actually look forward to making these tweaks and even organizing more. It's not coming from a place of pressure. It's coming from a place of motivation and that I want to do it. And my hope and my prayer is that this video motivated and encouraged you to declutter and clean something in your home today too.